Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. So it's the last few days of January, and I want to get this video out as promised, but I'm kind of hastily putting it together, and apologies, it's not the most eloquent video. I just want to go through an outline for the first part of this video. I'll show you a little snippet, and then at the end I'll do some additional commentary. But the first thing I want to mention is that yes, this plane is finally coming out this year, 100%. I know in the past I've made projections, but this is finally coming out this year. It really progressed in the last several months. Now, if I had to narrow it down, well, when this year, look for it in the third quarter. And this is going to be the next to the last video before release. So the next video will announce a release date. We'll go into depth into some of the systems, starting with the flight management system. And actually, that alone could be over an hour-long video. So depending on how long that video is, we may break up the other systems videos for future videos after that, either close to release or right after release. Now, in terms of the overall progress of the 757, if I exclude the EFB, all of the systems cumulatively are over 90% done. So we're wrapping up the flight management system, we're wrapping up the engine system, we're wrapping up the communications. Some of the communications, one of the easier systems, we left that for last. So we're going to wrap that up. We're looking to enter stage 2 in April at the very latest. Stage 3 will go relatively quickly, and I'll put up the our beta testing outline here, just for those that might not be familiar. We entered stage 1 back in September. Really, the biggest remaining parts of this project are the EFB and like the server and support infrastructure that we need, because we're going to be selling this on our own website as well. Just Flight, you can buy through Just Flight or through us, but we're setting all of that up for selling it on our website and the support infrastructure. Other parts of the model, like the 3D model, we're just doing finishing touches, like adding panel lines and screws and rivets and decals, just giving those extra details. The flight model is already done. Right now, we're focusing on the 200 Rolls-Royce model, but remember, for $80, you're entitled to the 200, 300 Rolls-Royce Pratt & Whitney and all the different wingtip versions, you know, winglet, non-winglet, scimitar winglet. So you're entitled to all of that. But right now, we're focusing on the Rolls-Royce 200. We're going to try to get the Pratt & Whitney 200 also on initial release. If not, it'll come very shortly after the initial release. The initial release will be for 2020. It will be compatible for 2024, but not native, meaning that it won't have some of the native features such as the interactive panels and other things. We are currently working on a native version as well, but that's, I don't have any timeline on that, but that's going to be a free upgrade for existing customers. We're not going to charge you for the native 2024 version. And now what I'm going to do really quick is just show a snippet from one of my programmers. This is during a meeting that we had, so I just took a snippet. I was recording some of the things that he was talking about. And this is just scratching the surface of all the functionality of the CDU and the FMS. It's really phenomenal what these guys have been able to do. This is truly study level. So for folks that want study level, this is going to be study level. So there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of cool features. But this is just, again, this is a small preview of what's to come with the FMS.
I think we kind of highlighted some of this stuff earlier. Cambridge, show off the airway chaining. We'll take Q84 to Q82, and then Q82 we'll take to Washer. And then from Washer, we'll do something like Fort Wayne. And then from Fort Wayne, we'll join J64. And let's say that we want to take J64 to the intersection of J43. Oh, that's the wrong spot. We put that here. There we go. And then we'll take that to Volunteer. And bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Fixed page stuff, pretty cool. Providence, I showed you this with the ring where, like the real airplane does, we're calculating solutions that intersect active portions of our flight plan route, right? Doesn't have to. I can put something, way outside of what our route is. I can even put some fix that's not even nearly close to our route, and we may not calculate a fix, an actual solution, even if we put something reasonable in there, like 25 nautical miles, because we're just never going to hit our active route. But you can still put it in there and paint it if you want. That's fine. If that's something you want to do. But if you do, it does hit your route, like if ATC is going to give you some sort of like 30 nautical mile away from the field, but your route is not totally direct and you want to know exactly a 30 nautical mile ring where that hits, you can pull that out there and you can go over here and you can put that in the fix page. Nav data page, if you want to know anything about an airport, like the elevation that it's at. There we go. We can also look up other fixes like Cambridge. There we go. And that'll actually, all those fixes that you're entering on the VOR, the nav aid inhibit, are actually being looked at and used for the calculation of a radio position here. Your IRSs are actually calculating their own position. They're actually suffering from gyroscopic precession and drift. Your GPS solution is actually a derived and calculated GPS position. It's not just a direct sim reading. Your radio is the same way, and it's looking at real nav aids that the real airplane would use. And it's also following the correct hierarchy of how it wants to calculate that position of DME, DME, VOR, DME. Can use localize.
All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek. What I want to do now is just start off with some, or end with some additional commentary. The first thing I want to start off with is the GoFundMe. I want to thank everybody that donated to the GoFundMe from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. One of my devs, Jafari, was impacted by Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica back in October, so we've raised over $6,000 for him. I'm going to put a link to the GoFundMe. It's still open. No amount is too small. If you can donate, really appreciate it. I want to thank, again, everybody that donated. I want to thank Nick from Flight Effects and the entire team there for donating. I want to thank V1 Simulations. He did a tribute live stream to raise money for the cause. So, again, really appreciate it. It really means a lot. And on a side note, I also want to thank Samaritan's Purse. I was visiting them back in October. They actually flew several missions to Jamaica with relief supplies. So they do a lot of great work. So thank you to those folks there for those missions that they flew to help the folks out in Jamaica. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, guys, is just really quick, the Just Flight A300. I had the privilege of working on that, doing the exterior 3D modeling, but I want to make it clear that I did that on a personal level, working for Just Flight. It was not a collaboration between BlueBird and Just Flight. Just want to clear things up because I know there was a little bit of confusion when I shared their post a few weeks ago. I'm really excited about their A300. I think it's going to be, in my personal opinion, I think it's going to be the best classic airliner for MSFS. They're really putting a lot of time and effort into that project, and it's really shaping up to be something really nice. And on the flip side, I want to just clear up also that Just Flight is not involved in the development of the 757. They're going to publish the product when it releases, so you'll be able to buy it on their website or on our website. But again, really looking forward to their A300. The next thing I want to talk about is the Navigraph survey. When it comes out, the biggest metric we're looking for is the mix of users between 2020 and 2024. With Sim Update 4 in 2024, I think the Sim finally turned a corner and became a lot better and more usable. There are still some gripes I have with it. My biggest one really, if the team, Jorg and Sobo, if they happen to watch this video, I still urge you guys to consider an offline mode, at least for developers. I think that would really help, especially if you lose internet connection. It has happened. In an extreme case, Jafari still does not have internet. Internet connection, so he can't use FS 2024. So even for devs, if you can make like a 400 square mile area, so we can test an airplane out, or some way to debug it and test it, that would be great. But I'll keep hoping, fingers crossed. But otherwise, Sim Update 4 is great, and we anticipate really more people migrating from 2020 to 2024. And I know I mentioned that the 757 expansion will be for 2024 only, and I know some folks were upset about that. We may backtrack and make it for 2020, I'm not sure yet, but we really want to kind of see the mix of users. But the passenger version for the 7.5, as I've promised, will be for 2020. The 767, on the other hand, will 100% be for 2024 only. We're not going to do two platform support for that product. Speaking of support, So one of the things we're working on is our infrastructure to sell and support the product. So that's actually, if you think about it, the EFB and our infrastructure are the two biggest parts left on this project. So part of that is going to be Discord. We are going to open up our Discord by March or April for everybody to chat in. I'm working with I have a list of moderators. I still need to contact them and kind of work things out. That'll be the moderators for a server. So, look for that in March or April so that our members can finally chat. And I use Discord. It's been a few weeks now, but I use that mainly to post updates and screenshots and things like that. I know we have other social media channels that I'll still update from time to time, but Discord's really going to be our main go-to in terms of updates and things like that. But we're also going to use that as a support structure, along with other areas, the things to use like a forum potentially for support and things like that. So we're working on those things. And that's really all I have, guys. I want to mention that, again, with the 7.5, once we release it, we're not going to forget about it. We're going to continuously improve and enhance the product. It's shaping up to be tremendously amazing. But we have lots of plans for after release with the 757. So it's our first project, and we've put a lot of effort and love into this, and you guys will see that, and it'll set the stage for our future projects, as I've mentioned in the past, the 767 and beyond. So really excited for this year. Again, this is going to be the year of the 757 finally after all this time. So I'm really excited to showcase to the community what we can offer, and I'm looking forward to it. So until the next video, I hope you all take care, and I'll see you next time. Take care.